Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Movie League. As you can see, I'm by myself today. I'm riding solo. I will not be reviewing solo though. That is something that Rod and I will do next week when he's back. And guarantee that he will have a lot to say about it. And I might also. See how we go. So just a couple things before I continue. I do have two adorable cats that may make an appearance. So hopefully you get to see them. Also, spoilers, obviously. And on that note, I suppose we shall begin. This week I watched the second season of 13 Reasons Why. I watched the first season last year. Made the very sorry mistake of binge watching it. So I was literally a potato on the couch and in a depressed state after I binged that one. Adamant that I wasn't going to make the same mistake this year. I again watched it, binged it, and again was a potato. So I quite enjoy being a potato sometimes. Where do I begin? Well, I guess the first season for me was one, extremely overwhelming because it was not really something that I'd seen before. Two, I really thought it was well done, and I guess it kind of prompted people to have a lot of discussion about it. I mean, when it first came out, I swear everyone on Facebook, everywhere was talking about this series, and not all of it was in a good way, which I guess is okay. I mean, you know, a lot of people have different opinions and things will affect people in different ways. So it was just really interesting to hear what other people thought. When I talk to people about this series, both the first and the second season, you hear things like, oh, you know, they glamorize suicide, you know, they make rape seem okay because, you know, the people don't get, you know, penalized for it. There's very, very valid points in response to this series, and I think it's good that it you know, people have these kind of discussions about it. I kind of thought with the first season there wouldn't really be much more to touch on, but I was very, very wrong, obviously. So the second season kind of begins with you see her mum and the dad's not really in the picture, so you kind of put two and two together there and you just assume that he's left. He does reappear later on in the season, which is good because, you know, he was Shrek in the musical, so don't mind seeing that face every now and then because it's hilarious. So he comes back, you know, basically what's happening is that they're in a trial. They're kind of trying to sue the school for, you know, a bit of negligence, I guess. So basically the mum wants justice for Hannah. She obviously went to people in the school, like the counsellor, other students. You know, she kind of reached out in a couple of different ways and, you know, showed signs of depression and told the counsellor about being raped and nothing was done. So I guess, you know, she's trying to get justice for Hannah, like I said. So you kind of get her story in that platform, and then, you know, all the different students and Hannah's classmates testify either for the school or against the school, and as a result you kind of get all of their stories and, you know, their interpretations of, you know, the tapes and what happened behind their relationship with Hannah, which, you know, I just thought was really, really beautiful. Like, a lot of the story, not all of them obviously are beautiful, some of them are very, very traumatic, but I guess some of them are a lot more than what you expected, and it kind of brings to light a lot of the characters that we didn't really get a good idea. Oh, there's one. It kind of brings to light the characters that we didn't really get a good idea of in the first season. For me, the most compelling characters were Jess and Tyler. Obviously, Jess had a really big storyline in the first season as well. But the second season, I think she just kind of, you know, carried the torch and was very, very inspiring to, you know, girls that age and just women everywhere in general, because she kind of, you know, is constantly having this internal battle of whether she should come forward and tell her whole story. And, you know, she kind of tells elements of it but never really points the finger at who it was who assaulted her. We kind of see a lot from her in this season. The other character that really kind of stood out was Tyler. His story progressed quite, I don't want to say really well, but it did, the way that they formulated his kind of deterioration in his mental health, I guess, was very, very well done. You know, he starts with something little, and then he, you know, gets bullied, and he tries to take back, you know, he tries to get justice, and as a result, he just kind of keeps getting bullied, and it just gets worse and worse. And then finally, the final episode, he kind of reaches his limit, and that's where we kind of get exposed to this whole idea of him planning to I guess carry out a mass shooting at his school. And I guess it is a very sensitive topic because it is something that's happening so much right now. And I mean, as someone who lives in Australia where we don't have that problem, it's hard to understand that fear. But all I can say is that I had so much anxiety. There's the other one. So much anxiety watching this episode, because it just kind of knew where it was heading, and because we've seen so much of it lately, it just, you know, it kind of really struck hard. I guess this series has never been, I mean, in the 2 seasons that it's done, it's never been overly sensitive with the way that they portray things. I mean, they're doing the things that they do for a reason, and it's to get people to talk about it, it's to get people to be moved, you know, to compel someone to do something about it. And I think that's really inspiring. You know, you can say what you want about it, you know, there's always going to be negative aspects that people do not like, and I completely, you know, can see why people wouldn't agree with the way that they're doing it, but I think it's very smart. Definitely necessary at this day and age, and it gives a really good insight into the things that are going on with young adults, I guess, in high school. So yeah, I was very, I don't know, obviously it's compelled me so much to talk about it now. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a series that I would watch with caution, because it's, like I said, it can be very traumatizing at some points. I would definitely not recommend young people watch this series. You've kind of got to be very aware that, you know, these things do happen in the world, and they're portraying it in a certain way that can be a bit, I guess, overwhelming. I think it's very, very smart that they have consultants that help them with writing the story. You know, they have people that experience these things every day, from lawyers to counsellors, people who help people overcome these sort of issues, help with the writing. So I think that that's very wise, in the sense that it's trying to be as truthful as possible when they try to tell these stories of these young people. Yeah, so that's my little rant about 13 Reasons. I think that, yeah, it's done very well. I'm not going to give it a rating, because I don't like to rate TV series that are not done yet. Obviously, because there's still so much more to say and see and try to understand of the many characters that you see. Obviously, I've only talked about a couple of them, but yeah, they're the ones that stood out to me anyway. Yeah, very well acted. I don't think there was any moment in this show that I can fault, I guess. Storylines are very touching. They make you hate people. They make you love people. They make you feel so much empathy for some of the characters. And I don't know, in a way, you just wish that you could find someone who's going through that and, you know, I guess tell them it's going to be okay. You know, so it's very, very moving show. Yeah, watch it. Tell me what you think. Comment. Share your opinion. I love talking about these kind of things and movies and TV shows, as you can tell. So yeah, definitely share your opinion. Post a comment. Let's chat about it, I guess. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or Tumblr. You know, we're getting there. We're trying to get out as much content as possible. We'll probably do some articles soon as well. And yeah, so just tune in. Next week we'll be doing Solo. I'm very excited about it. Super, super excited. Hopefully it's good. But yeah, so tune in. We'll see you next week. And just for a little end note, I guess we could show the little one. Like I said, he's very cute. So yeah, we'll see you next week anyway. All right, bye guys. Have a good week.